In terms of thinking about a body part, the idea of approaching a body part that comes, even thinking about that body part comes with its own existential dilemma was just irresistible.
Well, my background is in clinical neuropsychology, so for a number of years I worked in the NHS as a clinical neuropsychologist working with people with various kinds of neurological problems. I was interested in how different systems in the brain are involved in memory, language, control of action. But gradually I became more interested in how all that comes together to create a sense of self.
I want you to wiggle a finger. Get anything?
I think that my major interest generally, I think, in making anything creative has always been to do with sort of the mystery of being alive.
People tend not to think about the stuff in their head. You know, if you look at someone, you tend to imagine this kind of theatre of images and thoughts fizzing about. Actually, this is what's behind the eyes is a lump of material substance. It's a lump of meat, basically.
Find.
Fox.
Flute.
Forage.
If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times.
I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you. All horses have hooves.
Our first point of inspiration was to do with thoughts. We were really interested in trying to reproduce the thought process, especially because hearing voices in your head, you know, as you do with the podcast, it's very easy for your own kind of conscious narrative, your unconscious thoughts to be superseded, to be taken over by that voice that you're hearing in your head.
Vibrations in the air are being transformed to electrical signals in your ear, which are travelling along nerve pathways to the temporal lobes of your brain. Because it's purely auditory, it's fitted what we wanted to do, which is a kind of an anatomical, a neuroanatomical introspective piece where we're kind of imagining ourselves actually inside someone else's head. And there's something very interesting about, you know, playing with someone's imagination and talking about those parts of the brain actually involved in producing those imaginative images.
I could tell that he wasn't purely interested in the technical science of the brain, but that he was interested in the questions that reach past that technical science.
Having talked to Debbie, having Skyped with Debbie, I understood there was a connection there in the way that we thought about things and in the way that the same kinds of things intrigued us and inspired us. And I knew straight away we kind of had a convergent approach to this, which kind of fitted with the way that I sort of tend to think about things and write about things.
There is Paul and I walking around your brain. There is a little bit of a question about who the self really is and what the self really is. There's a child's voice, a little girl who's 7 years old who amazingly learned some unbelievably difficult words in order to record in the podcast, which was really impressive, I thought.
I mean, different listeners will get different things from it, I think. But I'm more interested, actually, that they, even if they don't get those things, that they have an interesting, intriguing, maybe slightly mysterious kind of experience from it.
And if that experience of thinking about that or being aware of that makes them slightly more aware of how mysterious and strange it is to be alive in general, then I'm happy.
What do we find?
But what do we find in the space behind the face when we look?
Very good.
What do we find?
I don't even know.